And spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. The best Protoss in South Korea, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Oh, Nikita, papi, let's go. Let's go. As herO, he's setting up for a gate expand. Okay, this is a very greedy move here from herO, but this is something you can accomplish on some of these larger maps. I'm referring to King's Cove, Abyssal Reef, and Neon Violet Square. You can afford to do this. So we go gateway here on the high ground, and this should lead into a faster expansion. But we'll keep an eye on this probe. We'll keep an eye on herO as he is walling up and setting up for a more greedy build here on King's Cove. SKillous, meanwhile, setting up in the main base instead. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, just a little bit distracted, but here we go. It's gonna be 2-gate. So 2-gate opener here out of SKillous, standard play out of our red Protoss. Meanwhile, herO going for the 1 gateway here at the natural, Cybercore in the main base, and we should either go for a faster expansion or for a tech structure before the Nexus. Now, SKillous has arrived. He's in position here to try and delay, going for the pylon block and try and disrupt the build of herO. But again, herO already just being quirky out the bat, out the gate even. Here comes our Zelda to focus on that probe and to zone away and deny the pylon. The Zelda has arrived, chasing away SKillous. Here comes the Nexus. And here comes the expansion. There we go. So herO being hyper greedy here on King's Cove, and he is baiting SKillous into a response. He's like, okay, so I'm cutting corners. I went gate, cyber expand. What are you going to do about it? You're going to play from behind? You're going to all in. SKillous is going to expand. Okay, he's going to expand. He will be slightly behind here in the economy. It's going to be on SKillous to recover. Oh. As there's a Nexus. Oh. No! As it was a little bit misplaced. Oh, God. Calm down, Nikita. Calm down. So, a rough start. I mean, it was already a delayed expansion, now delayed even further, as I did have to cancel and rebuild. What's important here isn't just the lost resources, but again, just the delay. The delay on making probes in a mirror matchup is huge. herO trying to catch out SKillous. SKillous pulls away in time. We have a robo follow-up out of herO. Very safe play. This will lead into immortal production. So it means that if SKillous went for a 1-base all-in, herO would be ready for it. It would be ready. And so far, herO, he defends well. SKillous backing off, trying to get his own bases up and running. Ooh, and herO, he opens up with a War Prism, not with an Immortal. I mean, he's scattered. Yeah, he's scattered the expansion. He knows that there is a natural, so he knows he does not need an Immortal. Hallucination confirms a Robo. Should confirm the Prism as well. And with that War Prism, herO can move out. He can soon move out. It's not going to be zoned away. Gonna be forced back. SKillous shading across the map. Nice catch. Oh no! SKillous, he gets knocked down. He gets completely locked down here. 1 sentry falls. And herO, he wants that Stalker. He wants that 2nd sentry. Hops over the wall. 1 more volley. And he should get it. And once again, trying to chase him down. But Epsa go for a counterattack. And here he rallies everything across the map. And here comes the intercept. Oh, takes down both sentries. Up, and he wants a Stalker. He gets it. He gets a Stalker as well. Takes down the Stalker, takes down 2 sentries. That did cost extra force fields, though. That should not have happened. So some wasted force fields out of herO. Shield battery's on the way. And here he just goes straight into the main. He just avoids the shield battery. Goes straight for the main base. Force fields the ramp as well. Cuts the army in half. Boys are being pulled. SKillous is in trouble, and he will hold, but he will lose probes. Yeah, probes are going down. 12. Oh my god, Jesus. Actually, adepts that were popping off across the map. Remember, there were 2 adepts that did shade, and here he lost 12 workers back at home. Very nice damage by SKillous. Sorry, we did miss that. As looks like we don't have game heart. You're catching out the army, at least trying to. Adepts are shade into the main. Catching out probes. Now it's SKillous' turn to bleed out workers. SKillous still behind in the economy, but he's catching up. He's catching up. So far, he gets 14 probe kills. Dropping back into the main. This time with an immortal. They're just pulling back the army. He gets 1 stalker. He gets 1. He gets 2. 2 stalkers go down. Glaives on the way. This screams 2 base all in. Yeah, gateways as well. So it's going to be Immortal Glaive Adept here from herO. He's very fond of this build. As I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the last time we see this in this series. Going 2 base Immortal Glaives. SKillous checks. There is no 3rd expansion. We'll thread another shade. Should get into the mineral line. SKillous, he's harassing well. Bleed out a couple of probes. But he does cripple hero's economy even further. And more probes going down. Every worker here at the natural. But here, he force fields. Does force field the ramp. We need another force field. Up. Does get a force of the recall. Catches at the mineral line. The sentry as well. And SKillous just getting torn apart here. Another force field. Oh, not quite. Despite that, there's barely an army left. Yeah, here come the reinforcements. Here comes the warp in. Here forcing his way through. Another immortal has arrived. And here he has enough. He has enough. He breaks through the natural. Now into the main. GG gets called, and herO, he will take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. An impressive start here at herO. Again, a very chaotic start is what I will say. As a reminder, herO, he went for a very greedy opener, went for a gate into Cyber into expansion. He was able to catch out SKillous early on and wreak havoc across the map by snowballing out control in the main. At the same time, it happened off screen, but SKillous killed 12 workers at the natural, and he just crippled the economy and he forced the all-in. herO, he went for an Immortal Glaive all-in, and once again, able to make use of his army, able to outposition SKillous time and time again, force fielding that ramp, and just pulling him apart. If it wasn't for those force fields, then maybe SKillous could have been able to buy time and recover, but alas, he was just picked apart. He was never able to make full use of his army, as he was only ever fighting with half his army at a time. GG. GG, well played. herO does take a lead. And again, this is what I was alluding to previously about how much more chaotic and how much more aggressive these games can be once you get someone like herO involved. You're not getting the most standard of PvPs that you otherwise would thrive in. But now we're getting into game 2, and we'll see how our players will adjust. See how they mix it up. Let's go. So many Protosses lately. If you haven't been watching StarCraft for the past like 5 years, I mean, PvPs have been very, very prevalent ever since like 2020, 2019. We actually spoke about this during the podcast, but yeah, has been the case for a long time. As spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player. We have a blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. I think during the podcast, Yaku and I, we theorized that the only reason why it's being discussed more recently is because now there's probably more eyes and more attention on online open cups. So now people are noticing something that's been there for many, many years at this point, whereas previously a lot of people were probably just focusing a little bit more on EPT or offline events, where that wasn't as much the case, because in EPT and offline events you'd get more variety with more Terran and more Zerg representation. But currently in the off season, because there's more online tournament, like more emphasis on online events, then people are like noticing it a little bit more. But it's always been the case. always. As we're settling in, for now, 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of SKillous. Likewise, herO going for a gate. Once again, herO going to be cutting corners and going for something more economic instead. Let's go. Let us go. As we have a gate into Cybercore, into expansion. Looks like the same build from herO 2 games in a row. And we'll see if he can get away with it. We'll see if herO gets pylon blocked instead. And he does not. There's the expansion. There's the Nexus. Ooh, okay, so once again, it's going to be on SKillous to try to punish this, to try to punish the greed. Last game at Skills, he went for his own expansion as a response, and he tried to get into his own economic game state. And then things go chaotic with harassment, with counterattacks. And it looks like SKillous, he will once again expand. And this time, it should be on location. This time, it won't be cancelled. Meanwhile, Double Adept. Double Adept opener here out of SKillous. We'll do our best to keep up with the adepts and to count dead workers. We'll do our best. Here we go. SKillous does move out. Does move out across the map. SKillous does threaten that shade so far. It's going to be on herO to maintain that greater economy. And he does force field. So he does throw down the pylon. The shield battery does wall off. Does wall off in time. Getting on top of the adepts, at least trying to. SKillous does shade pass. Once again, headed for the mineral line. Does make his way and gets one. Gets 1 probe so far. Gets 2. Not bad. Gets 2 probes. Getting a 3rd probe towards the end. Is going to be cleaned up, but not bad. And with that, SKillous, he does tie up. He does even up the worker count. Whew. In total, it's 4 probe kills for 2 adepts. And the worker counts are neck and neck. Behind this, SKillous, he's not done. Going for the Oracle. Oracle zooming across the map. Meanwhile, herO does open Phoenix instead. Now, herO, he did scout the tech. He is aware of the Stargate. SKillous is not. So with that added information, herO is going to try to shut down that Oracle and gain an advantage, gain a lead. And behind this, not going for the Twilight Council, going into the Robo and +1 into Immortal production. And once again, to reiterate, as we saw in the previous game, herO, he's very fond of Robo-based play and very fond of Immortal-based compositions in PvP, just because you can be quite flexible with how aggressive you are with them. But it is a more defensive style initially. As SKillous, he rocks up with 2 more adepts. And again, it's on herO to defend. So far here, he walls off. Oracle dives into the main. Phoenixes, they will respond. And this Oracle's going to be hunted down. Going for the recall, will escape. Whew. Does recall in time. Does pull back. Recall back home. Blink is almost done here for SKillous. Going for his 3rd expansion. And again, here he's just building up on 2 bases. Just building up back at home. Throwing down his own gates. I'm curious if hero's going to go for charge. Go for charge plus Immortals. He could even go into Glaive Adepts once again. We mentioned before that hero is quite fond of Glaive Immortal. As Immortals are building up. And again, here is stuck at home. The way this dynamic works, and the reason why SKillous is safe to expand here, is because SKillous has map control. That's what Blinkstalker provides you, is that he has map control, he should be containing herO, and herO should be stuck at home until he breaks out. And there it is. So it is indeed going to be charge, as we assumed. I mean, we said charge or glaives, one or the other. Charge only for herO. Massive gateway explosion, and this screams 2-base all in. 2-base all in from herO. Is going to be stuck at home until he builds up, waits for the upgrades, and then he's going to snowball out of control. Or at least he's going to try to. It's on SKillous to slow this down, as there's more gates on the way. And more gateways are being thrown down here for herO. SKillous, he can dive into the main. Sees the gateways. Is somewhat aware what's happening. Oh, nice lift. Catching up the Stalkers. Here he gets one. Ooh, stasis goes up. Oh my god. And SKillous, he maintains the Stalker, takes down the Phoenix. Can keep pushing in. herO getting caught with his pants down. Adepts, they do try to shade into the mineral line. Stasis as well. So far, SKillous trying to pop up, going for that Tosis pylon. Ooh, barely is up, barely survives. Barely does live. On 7 HP. Overall, I would say that a successful attack out of SKillous. I mean, he lost... Ooh, I say that. He did lose 5 Stalkers. And I would have assumed he was going to get more damage here. Like 5 probes and a pylon for 5 Stalkers. That was not the best trade from SKillous. He had some good moments, don't get me wrong, but didn't achieve too much with it. Stays in the main. herO pulls away in time. And now all these gateways are online. How many gates? 8. It's going to be a 2-base, 8 gates all in. herO, the prism's on the way. That's the only thing he's waiting for. He's waiting for the War Prism, then he can push. Now, this Temple Archives is lined up in such a way that when herO gets across the map, he can warp in like 4 High Templar and morph in 2 Archons. So he can reinforce with Archons on the front lines if he needs to. I should emphasize that. SKillous, he has purely Stalker. Against pure Stalker, you don't really need Archons, to be honest. Zealots are more valuable. Here comes herO. Main army gets spotted. Archons, they're already getting warped in. So there's going to be those 2 Archons that we did mention. SKillous building up back at home. Here we go. herO, he's pushing in. Rotating over. SKillous, trying to pick off any kind of stray units here. Doesn't quite catch them. Now SKillous is up against the wall. He has 3 shield batteries behind this. Sorry, 4 shield, but soon to be 5. 5 shield batteries at the third. A line of stasis traps as well. SKillous, he can pull this off. But he needs these stasis traps to pop off as well. He needs some good connections. And then SKillous can't survive. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for SKillous. First stasis is baited. Up! But the other takes down 2 Immortals. Yeah, massive connection. 2 Immortals go down. 1 Immortal left. Yeah, it's a massive blow to the firepower of herO. And SKillous, he's holding. He is holding on. Diving in the army, trading with the Zealots. herO, he's running out of steam. These Zealots are all going down. Stasis finally runs out. But herO, the army, I mean, it's not really there anymore. And remember, back at home, there's no third. There's no third base. He's completely all in. Reinforcing from back at home. He lost the War Prism. Yeah, and SKillous, he should be able to hold on here. Takes down an Immortal, takes down an Archon. Has another Stasis Trap just in case. Boys are being pulled, and he's getting completely cleaned up. Nikita, he's doing it. He's holding. Zealots, coming from behind. Make use of the stasis, pappy. Ay, ay, ay. Prism comes in to reinforce. But yeah, SKillous, he's fine. Perfectly fine at this point. Snaps the observers. Zones away the prism. Cleans up all the Zealots. If it wasn't for that first stasis trap, I mean, that could have been game. But it was so impactful to catch 2 Immortals. 2 out of 3. And with that, herO, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. Now, SKillous doesn't have to counterattack. He has potential, though, with these Blink Stalkers. He doesn't have to commit. He can just always kite back. True. But SKillous just has to calm things down, build up his economy, take gases, throw down his own robo, get into his own splash damage, ideally, into Archon production. herO, he's long-distance mining, and SKillous is here to deny that. He has arrived. herO out of position, racing back home. And SKillous is here to make a series out of this. There's the recall. Does recall back. Does recall in time. Likewise running into the main army. Slowing it down. And herO, he's down to, what, 3 Archons, 2 Immortals, a handful of Zealots, a handful of Archons, which again, don't really do much here. Against a Mass Stalker. Oh! You want to see Immortal? Does want the Immortal. Falling back. This is a better trade for herO. True. I mean, the Archons are doing a great job at tanking here. Tanking so much, but one Immortal goes down. One left. herO is still very committed and very all in. But he's down to one Immortal. Shields get triggered. Oh. SKillous, he should be able to sign one of those Archons. Should be able to. Stasis running out, dives on the Prism. Prism goes down, Immortal as well. And there's nothing left here. herO is going to be completely cleaned up at the same time. SKillous, he goes for a massive counterattack, hits the natural, knocks down the shield battery, and busts into the mineral line. And SKillous, he has done it. We have a series here. We have the back and forth. GG gets called, and SKillous, he survives the all-in and ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We have a back and forth. That's all I ever wanted. And again, herO, he didn't have a bad start to the game, but as we saw, one on Amygdala takes a long time to reinforce, so it was brutal for herO to lose that first Warp Prism. True, so his reinforcements were so delayed or non-existent. Likewise, the first Stasis Trap popping off and catching 2 Immortals was huge. Again, those Immortals, they're the backbone of the army. Like they are the units that deal damage for herO, and that's how you're able to facilitate for that all-in. He had 3 Immortals, suddenly, straight away, just one Immortal for that all-in, as the other 2 got caught by the Stasis. That was a massive moment for SKillous. And with that, GG. He holds, he shuts down the all-in, and now we're getting into game number 3. Let's go. The series will continue. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid, tying up the series and having a bit of a back and forth here. Who will take a lead in this best of 5? It is SKillous. We go. As our players are setting up, every game so far in this series, herO has gone for a Gate Cyber Expand. He's gone for an economic greedy build, and I wouldn't be opposed to it here on Abyssal Reef either. Abyssal Reef is one of the larger maps in the map pool, likewise very defendable 3rd, 4th, and 5th base, so very easy to cut corners early on and be defensive, and be greedy, I should say. We'll see if herO goes for it. As this time he's got the pylon, he's got the Stalker, he's got the pylon, he's got the gateway on the high ground. Meanwhile, 2 gate opener out of SKillous. Looks like a gate Cybercore opener out of herO. He wants the Nexus. Oh, the probe is here. The probe is in position just in time. Here he's got 400 minerals, and his Nexus is going to be denied. Yeah, big delay here. Cybercore likewise being thrown down. You could see herO, he had 400 minerals just in time for that low ground expansion, and he's still going to go for it. Yeah, he's still going to go for it. There it is. It isn't as early as he would have wanted, but early nonetheless. So gate into Cybercore into expansion. Greedy build out of herO 3 games in a row. And SKillous, how does he respond? Again, this map is very defendable. Does go for the gas steal, but it is very difficult to pull off something like a 1-base all-in on Abyssal Reef. As the Cybercore is finishing, and what first 2 units are we going to go for? Double Adept. Double Adept out of SKillous. Most likely into Stargate. SKillous focusing on harassing, on getting economic damage. I mean, he's been semi-successful with that so far this series. He's had some success. As here we go, we have a Robo open out of SKillous. Robo before expansion. This looks like a 1-base all-in. Uh-oh. Okay, show us what you got. Here he pylon blocks. He's pylon blocking for a base that doesn't exist. Again, like to throw down a robo here could be one of two things. Either you're defending against an all-in, but I mean we know that Hero is being hyper greedy, or setting up your own all-in. That's what this is. Third gateway on the way into a prism, into immortal production as well. SKillous, he is sending it across the map, and it's on Hero to figure out what's going on, as he doesn't know. And Hero, he doesn't open Stargate. He's stuck on one gas geyser. There we go, second gas here on the natural. On the low ground, he needs either a Stargate or a Robo. He needs one of the two. Stalker gets hunted down. SKillous rallying across the map. Here comes that War Prism. The all-in is commencing. Here he's dancing with the main army. He didn't scout across the map. The pylon did complete, actually. That's a big tell. He should know. At this point, for this pylon to be left untouched and for there not to be an expansion, that's a massive tell that's a one base all in. There we go. Pylons are on the way. We need shield batteries. We need a robo. Where's the robo, Pappy? Where's the tech? There it is. This does feel... This is late. It's a late robo here from Hero. It's going to be a tough hold. Not impossible, but a tough hold nonetheless. As he needs that immortal production. Shield battery now on the way. Here comes the move out. How many gateways behind this? Getting to a 4-gate setup. So 4 gates on one base. Prism has arrived. SKillous, he does scout the defensive setup here. More depths warping in. More depths are warping in. Hits the mineral line. Up. Denies a couple of workers. Denies mining. This is some damage, but he needs more. Bleeds down the depth. Shades into the main. Here he's somewhat keeping up. Bleeding out 2. We're lacking target firing here. Only 2 probes. SKillous focusing at the natural. And he's bleeding out a little of a depth, I should say. As the immortal has arrived. But, oh my god, the prism gets incredibly low, and it feels like this all-in is taking too long. Again, SKillous, he threw away so many adepts, so there's barely any support for the immortal. There's 2 adepts in a couple of centuries. But the first immortal has arrived. Second immortal's on the way. A nice force field. Does lock down the first immortal though. And he will catch it. Massive pickoff. One immortal goes down. Prism getting low. But here he's holding. He's holding onto the ramp. Prism is so exposed. He's going to get it as well. Massive pickoff. GG gets called. And Hero, he defends. He shuts down the all-in. And Hero takes the lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And I feel like this game was a good example as to, one, the strengths of a proxy. We saw it took so long for the reinforcing immortals to arrive across the map because there was no proxy from SKillous. It was a one-base all-in from back at home, so it took a long time for those reinforcements. More importantly, the map as well. We spoke earlier at the start of the game, if you remember, talking about how it made sense that Hero was being greedy on Abyssal Reef because maps like Abyssal, Neon Violet Square, and King's Cove are very, very large maps, so one-base all-ins take a really long time to get across the map. So again, that's why we thought it was like, oh, it was fine for Hero to open up economically, and it was fine, and it was more difficult for SKillous to pull off the one-base all-in, more so than on a smaller map like El Dorado or Whispers of Gold, or even Ley Lines as well, or Ultra Love, on some of these other smaller maps. So yeah, with that, SKillous, he never really had much momentum there. He couldn't really build up. It was really cool that he was able to catch one immortal. That was a great moment, but that was really the only moment for SKillous. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Hero is now 1 game away from claiming the series. The pressure is now on SKillous. Let's go. Let us go. As we are loading into a smaller map, Ley Lines. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming. WBG, it is Hero. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from Team Liquid down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is SKillous. Can we force another ace match? Again, Gelt and Cristiano, they went all the way to game 5 previously, and I want to believe that SKillous can do the same here as well. Let's go. As herO, we've seen him go gate expand every game so far in this series. I would not be opposed to seeing it again here on ley lines as well. What I will say is that if he does go for this on ley lines, then SKillous will have a greater opportunity to pull off an all-in and to catch herO with his pants down. Is a greater chance of that happening. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. Now here moving out with his probe scouts. It is going to be a 2-gate opener out of SKillous. And for the first time this series, 2-gate opener out of herO. Let's go. Okay. So we have our 2-gate opener. Now from here, herO, he can be aggressive himself. Don't want to count that out. Does poke in. Mirrored builds for the time being. And just scouting, just checking for that second pylon. Checking for that setup. Probe dips in. Spots the mineral line. Spots the pylon. Knows that there is no proxy. And from here, both players can breathe easy. Both pylons are in the main. It's going to be double Stalker out of herO. It's going to be Stalker Sentry out of SKillous. So SKillous going for a much more standard macro-based opener. herO being a little bit more assertive and more aggressive with double Stalker. From here, he can go into a 3rd and 4th Stalker as well and just commit across the map. We'll see if he does. Ooh, Stargate before expand. Interesting. herO going for the earlier Stargate into Oracle. So double Stalker into double Adept. Again, just very aggressive here from herO. Is going to be very aggressive. We'll be delaying his further tech and delaying his natural in favor of this. Nexus now on the way. SKillous going for his own. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So here he actually canceled the Adepts. So he canceled both Adepts to a 4-day faster expansion. So just double Stalker into Oracle into faster Nexus instead. Interesting. So not being as aggressive, and it's actually being shut down. Jesus. Taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. And here he has to get the hell out of here. Uh-oh. And herO, he's the one in trouble now. He's falling back home. His Stalkers are very low. Shield batteries are on the way. And SKillous is moving in. This early on doesn't look like a lot, but herO doesn't have much either. Yeah, as one Stalker will fall. Locks down the other Stalker. Will focus it down. One more volley. Up the shield battery. Oh my god, the power of the shield. It's crazy. With the power of the shield battery, herO does hold. Takes down the Sentry. Takes down the Stalker as well. Brutal losses here for SKillous. Wait, that was insane. The Stalker just refused to die. And SKillous did overextend. But at least SKillous is now aware of the Oracle. He's aware of the Stargate. Ooh. Stalker does go down. Yeah, rough trades. Rough trades for SKillous. Trying to catch out the Oracle though. Another Oracle moves out. herO opening up triple Oracle. Jesus. It's a lot of Oracles. Triple Oracle out of herO. SKillous back in, working towards Blink. Blink is going to be much faster, of course, but is he in position? He is not. No shield battery either. And SKillous, he was aware of the Oracle. He made the decision. Gets one, gets 2 probes. Only 2. 2 probes going down. Could have been a lot worse. But SKillous, he does hold. He does keep up. The other 2 Oracles make their way towards the natural. They can, of course, one-shot probes. If they work together. Now they gets 1, gets 2. pulls away. Up the setup, SKillous, he's all over this. Massive catch, Oracle goes down. Very nicely done. As now we're down to 2 Oracles. Killing 8 probes in total. Let's say 8 up to 9 up to 10. 10 probe kills. SKillous trying to keep up. Blink is almost done, so he's pushing once they hit that blink timing. herO back at home. He is currently down in Stalkers, but SKillous is keeping Stalkers at home to defend. So he doesn't have his entire army. Blinks in. Oh my god, he's crazy. I gets punished. SKillous with a patient blink. Patience blink, I should say. Blinks in, gets punished. herO holds. herO does hold, and unfortunately SKillous just unable to make use of that blink upgrade. Unable to make use of that tech. Both players taking their third bases. Now we're building up towards the mid game. Now SKillous, he is slightly ahead in tech here. SKillous has a faster third base, he has a faster forge for faster +1, and he also has a faster charge as well. So the upgrades are going to be in favor here of SKillous. There's going to be, again, these windows of opportunity where he will have that tech and upgrade lead. Say that SKillous is in that better position. herO, to make up for that, has more Stalkers. He's been warping in time and time again, just massing up more Stalkers. And the upgrades are not coming into play yet. herO's pushing in. Does move in. Overwhelms the Stalkers one after the other. Shield battery is helping, but there are just so many Stalkers here for herO. He wanted to take 4 gateways back at home, by the way. Yeah, 4 gate setup. Shield battery does help, but the concave is greater here for herO. Oh, still pulls away there. Still forced back. SKillous, he's holding on. Impressive, despite being down in army. SKillous does hold. Whew. Does hold on. And now SKillous is going to be getting further ahead, at least when it comes to his tech. Faster robot for SKillous as well. From here can work towards immortal production. Can do something crazy and rush into a bay. We'll see. Keep an eye on SKillous. As herO backs up, gets a faster 4th. 4th base is on the way. Upgrades just have finishing up for SKillous. Again, from here you can go straight into +2. And with that, Robo going for the Prism, actually. Okay. War Prism first. He's going for the initial Prism. We'll see if herO can catch him. SKillous keeping up. Zoning herO away. It's going to be zoned back. SKillous going to be taking the advantage here over herO. Trading slightly. Behind this, herO building up his own immortals, which is what I assumed would be happening here for SKillous. Nice events. Takes down an Oracle, 1 Oracle left. herO keeps pushing, catching another Stalker. SKillous keeps pushing, I should say. But SKillous does get caught out. Overextends for a moment. SKillous has to pull away. Zealotay busts into the mineral line. SKillous does respond in time. But still being overwhelmed. SKillous barely not catching up. Under the Prism! Prism goes down. 2 Stalkers. And herO takes the lead. herO does take a lead. Now up in workers, up in economy, his 4th base is up and running. Catching up in upgrades. Even though SKillous had, for example, faster blink or faster charge, I mean, now herO, he's caught up. And herO even going for his own Dark Shrine. DT's on the way behind this. SKillous just bleeding out a little bit too much, and again, his 4th base is still not done. It's still not done, baby. herO moving in, going straight for the natural. SKillous out of position. herO poking in towards that northern base. Zeltse busts into the mineral line. Immortal going ham. And yeah, the mineral line, it's gonna fall. Cannon can only do so much. Stalkers, they just try to come in on top of the army. They go for the dive. They catch an Immortal. They should get the second Immortal as well. But throughout all this, Zeltse has just been wreaking havoc. Wreaking havoc here in the mineral line. Not getting too many probes is what I will say. SKillous, he's holding on. He defends. He defends the natural. Cleans up all the Immortals. SKillous was a much cleaner fight here. Again, I just assumed that these workers would have gone down, but not a single... I mean, I want to say maybe 4 probes, maybe 4 probe kills, if that. Very impressive here by SKillous. He defends the natural, gets his 4th base up and running. Barely lost anything. herO, he threw away those Immortals. That was not a good trade for the blue Protoss. Oh, no. Oh, no. But the DTs have arrived, and now finally economic damage. The Invisible Man in the natural, in the main base. Not like this. Comes to the main fights, though. SKillous dives in, takes down another Immortal. 1 Immortal left. SKillous trading well. He's holding his own. He's with the larger army. herO has a better economy, so we can afford some of these rough trades. But these have been more efficient fights for SKillous. If only he had the 4th base fully operational sooner. Trying to collapse in. Once again, force back. Oof. Okay, bleeding out Stalkers for Zealots of all things. Rough trades for SKillous. Now coming in to reinforce. Does target fire those Stalkers. Not bad. So a couple of Stalkers towards the end. And again, he wants that Immortal. Still moving in. Gaining momentum, warping in 8 Stalkers at a time. That's a lot of Stalkers. The DTs, they come back. No, they come back. They take over the natural. Cannon goes down, probes as well. Forces a recall of a handful of Zealots, but it's not going to be enough. And SKillous is being torn apart. Dark Templar did so well there. SKillous down to 48 workers. And herO, his economy has been untouched. Like, that's the important part here, is that even though SKillous has been out trading herO can afford it. He can afford those losses. You just keep rebuilding, keep remaxing. Just wave after wave of Zealot, Stalker, Immortal. herO, he can just replace it all. SKillous cannot. As he gets denied mining at the 4th. Due to the 1 Dark Templar. Cannon defends the natural. Sorry, the 3rd, but yeah, GG gets called. It just becomes too much to handle, and herO will claim the series 3-1, taking down SKillous. GG. GG, well played. herO does take it, but impressive play here out of SKillous. Honestly, I can see this going to the ace match. SKillous, he was playing very well here in this final game. As I mentioned, SKillous, he was out trading herO. He was out controlling him, cashing out Immortals, catching out Stalkers, like really solid trades out of SKillous. Unfortunately, what was really hindering him that game was the economy. Like SKillous, I don't think he ever got up to anywhere near up to 60 workers, never up to 3 base economy. He was just torn apart by Zealot run-bys, by DT counterattacks. He could never really stabilize that economy. Whereas herO, he was on, what, 73 workers the entire time, just chilling on like 72, 73 probes almost the entire game. Had an untouched economy himself. And with that, he could just afford to throw away units. He could afford to throw them away. SKillous less so. GG. With that, GG, well played. herO, he will claim the series, but I'm glad that we had a back and forth here. I'm glad that we had SKillous being able to showcase his own play as well, as that leads us to the halfway mark of the broadcast. Whew, let's go as we switch our scenes over and catch up on the results. We do have our PvPs over and done with here, but again, some very explosive PvPs in more ways than one. We had a bit of a more standard back and forth between Geralt and Christiana, very mid-game oriented, even up to max out armies facing off against each other multiple times. In the end, it barely went the way of Geralt. Here in the second PvP, we had herO being a lot more aggressive. Here. We saw a lot of 2-base all-ins. We saw a lot of intense play between herO and SKillous. A lot of greedy openers out of herO into more aggressive builds. We even had SKillous attempt a 1-base all-in on Abyssal Reef. So very dynamic, very back and forth. In the end, when it went in favor of herO. And now we have 2 matches left. No mirror matchups this time. Up next is going to be a PvT between MaxPax and Cure as they face off here in the upper bracket. Likewise, we then have Clem versus Shin in a TVZ. Oh boy, we have some bangers coming up ahead of us here in that TVP and TVZ. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. Here. We have reached the halfway mark. Again, these are all best of 5s, all very long and very intense series. And we'll get to those non-mirror matchups after the break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, hydrate your Hydras, massage your Marines, and tuck in all your Tempests. We'll be back soon with MaxPax versus Cure. See you soon.